Welcome to Lesson 10, and this one's not optional. Every prompt you fire off is data leaving your machine. Every paste is potentially training fodder, and every agent run is a credential leak waiting to happen. Most developers never think about this until legal comes knocking, so we're going to walk the 5 stages that senior teams actually use to ship AI safely: inventory, classify, configure, redact, audit. By the end of this lesson, you'll own 4 concrete skills. First, a real inventory of what your prompts actually send: code, comments, file paths, secrets, all of it. Second, the privacy modes for Cursor, Copilot, and Claude, because the defaults are different, and getting them wrong means your code trains the next model. Third, the 3 legal landmines: leaked API keys, pasted customer data, and EU data residency. And fourth, the audit trail that lets legal sleep at night. Start with the inventory because every prompt is data egress, and most developers genuinely don't realize it. High risk is the stuff that ends careers: hard-coded API keys and pasted snippets, database URLs with credentials baked in, customer PII hiding in test fixtures, internal host names. Medium risk is your company's IP, proprietary algorithms, architecture decisions, unreleased features. Low risk is the public surface, stdlib, boilerplate, syntax questions. Go audit your last 5 prompts and count what falls in each tier. Most devs are shocked. Once you know what's leaving, the next move is knowing where it's going. Every vendor ships different defaults. Cursor's privacy mode gives you 0-day retention, Copilot needs business or above to stop training, Claude is off by default but holds free tier data 30 days, ChatGPT only goes quiet on team or API. Read the privacy page once per tool, lock the config, and audit it every quarter. 10 minutes of work kills 80% of your compliance exposure. Configuration handles the vendor side, but your actual exposure breaks down into 3 buckets, and almost every team falls into one of them harder than the others. Secrets: the API keys and tokens that get pasted mid-prompt and logged forever. IP: your proprietary logic feeding someone else's training run. And GDPR: EU personal data crossing borders without an Article 28 processor agreement with €20 million fines waiting. Figure out which one is your biggest hole first, then layer the mitigations. Don't try to boil the ocean. So let's talk about the highest leverage habit you can build: redaction. Here's the key insight. When you're debugging, the model doesn't need your live JWT or a real customer's SSN. It needs the shape, the type, the structure, the logic. Swap secrets for process.env references, swap PII for fake but valid examples, swap internal host names for angle bracket placeholders. Same answer from the AI: 0 exposure. This is the move that separates engineers who ship AI safely from the ones who end up in an incident channel at 2 a.m. Redaction protects individual prompts. Governance protects the whole organization. And when legal comes knocking, you have minutes, not days, to answer. These 5 layers are the backbone: an approved tools list reviewed before adoption, per-user provisioning through SSO so access dies when employment does, activity logging exported from vendor consoles, a data classification policy that maps each tier to what's allowed, and signed DPAs with every paid vendor. Build them once, they pay rent forever. Once the backbone is in place, here are 6 force multipliers senior teams quietly rely on: repo-level ignore files, keep secrets, and prod configs invisible to Cursor and Copilot. Pre-commit scanners, git leaks, trufflehog, guard, catch pasted keys before they ever reach a vendor log. Stash pre-approved DPAs in your wiki to cut legal review from weeks to days. Run quarterly access reviews, expect 10 to 20% drift. Tag prompts with a client ID so vendor logs become an audit trail for free. And keep a self-hosted Llama or Codastrawl ready for the day egress isn't an option. Here's the whole lesson on one page: 12 patterns to pin above your monitor. Read it as a sequence. Every prompt is egress, so audit before pasting. Paid tiers buy you the no train clause. Redact secrets down to shape, not value. Review activity logs quarterly. Classify by your 3 risk tiers. Gate sensitive paths with cursor ignore, and never touch a paid tool without a DPA. Then lock it down. Privacy mode on, pre-commit scanners running, EU residency if you need it, and a self-hosted fallback for the day something breaks. Now the failure modes. 5 mistakes that have already burned real teams. Free tier on client code feeds your customer's IP into someone else's training set. Personal accounts mean data walks out the door when the dev does. Skipping the DPA leaves you legally naked the moment a client asks who touched their data. Pasting secrets to debug. That's the #1 leak source. Full stop. And without a quarterly access review, 15% of your seats are ghosts within 6 months. Get these right before you scale, not after. So here's your homework. 3 exercises that move you from theory to posture. First, audit your last 5 prompts and tag them high, medium, or low risk. Almost everyone finds 1 or 2 they regret, and that's the point. It calibrates your redaction reflex. Second, 30 minutes per tool, turn on privacy mode, kill training, screenshot the state, file it in the wiki. Third, drop in a .cursor ignore, install git leaks as a pre-commit hook, and rotate anything it surfaces. Do these and your AI usage is auditable, defensible, and quiet. That closes out security. You've got the 4 pillars locked. Every prompt is egress, privacy mode plus a DPA, secrets redacted, and an audit trail you can defend. Next up, Lesson 11, Team Adoption. Because none of this matters if your teammates are still pasting customer data into a free chatbot. We'll cover the rollout playbook, handling the skeptics, and turning your power users into multipliers. See you there.